Let's talk about entering AP invoices in Oracle e-Business Suite. What if you could do everything from expense invoices to matching to POs or receipts from Microsoft Excel with all the security and validation of Oracle e-Business Suite? With the More for Apps AP Invoice Wizard, you can. In this video, we'll look at the time spent entering typical invoices directly into the Oracle EBS forms and contrast that with the More for Apps AP Invoice Wizard to see the performance gains you might expect. We'll start by watching our AP clerk Monica doing a routine task of recording invoices she's received from one of the departments in her organization. In our case, Monica has received a spreadsheet listing the invoice details from vendors that sent their invoices by email or extract. Here's the listing. We're watching her entering the first invoice on the AP Workbench form. She has to search for the vendor, then enter the site and invoice dates and totals, then scroll down to enter the line information and eventually distribution information using the controls on the screen. It involves navigating through a number of forms one after the other, and when she's done with the first invoice, she has to go back to the invoice header, click by click, validate it, then repeat the process for the next invoice. There are no shortcuts and a lot of repetition here, and always potential for her to make a mistake or miss a step. I don't know about you, but I'd rather see a better option. So let's look at the More for Apps AP Invoice Wizard. Using the wizard, Monica can use the functionality of Excel to speed up the process and load the data directly to Oracle from a worksheet. Here's the wizard. There are toolbars at the top to control the process, lightly colored columns to hold the invoice values, and darker ones for the feedback from Oracle. It can be set up to match the needs of your organization by including the fields you need for the upload and removing those you don't. As we saw earlier, Monica has a source spreadsheet with all the invoice information she wants to load. She can copy the information from there and paste it directly into the wizard worksheet. Because she's already mapped her columns in the wizard with the source data, all the relevant values appear in the right place. If there's any information missing, she can enter it directly into the cells of the worksheet. Or if she wants to use the same value for every row, she can put that into the default row here, and it'll be applied to all the rows she loads. She also has the option of opening up an edit form to check the information is valid by simply double-clicking on the invoice she's interested in. Now, because Monica has not logged in yet, she's prompted to do so. She enters her user and password, and then selects the appropriate responsibility from the list. She needs to choose one that has access to the Payables Workbench form. When the form opens, you can see controls for all the columns on the worksheet, and these are linked to the Oracle validations, so you see drop-downs and search buttons where appropriate. She might also have an attachment to add to one or more of the invoices. She can add that to the upload by clicking into those columns and entering that information here. In this case, it's a PDF of the invoice document. When she's ready to upload the invoices, she goes to the toolbar and clicks Upload. She has the option to upload the cursor selection or the whole sheet. The invoices are loaded into the interface table in chunks, one after another. Now, in contrast to Data Loader, while that's happening, she could minimize the program and get on with her other tasks because her PC is not tied down. But in this example, there's only a handful of invoices, so it finishes pretty quickly. The next step is to run the import program. She could do that in the Oracle Forms via the Request Manager, but there's no need. All the functionality is available to her directly from within the wizard. She selects the source and runs the job. Then she can watch the process as it happens via the concurrent request form. When it's completed, she refreshes the sheet to see the result. It's at this point she gets a prompt to load the attachments in. Everything loaded perfectly. If there were any errors, she'd see them in the status columns with descriptions why, and it'd be a simple task to fix the errors and resubmit. The next step is to validate the invoices, and of course she can do that directly from the wizard. It's easy to select the invoices she wants to validate by selecting the appropriate values for the filters in this form. In Monica's case, she'll just do it using today's date. Again, she can monitor the progress in the concurrent request form and then refresh the sheet. You can see the validated status against the invoices now. And of course, you can verify this all worked in Oracle by looking at one of the invoices. Let's copy the invoice number from the first one into the form and see what is loaded. You can see the header and line and distribution information is there, and if we click on the button, we can see the attachment as well. Obviously, there's often a need to match invoices to POs or receipts. Let's look at an example. We'll watch Monica match an invoice she's received to a PO in Oracle. To speed things up, there's a great download functionality that she can make use of. She can enter the PO number into the worksheet and choose the option to download the details for that PO into the sheet. Now she just needs to enter the appropriate invoice information at the header and distribution level. Today she'll do a partial billing of 2 items, but if it wasn't partial, she could just put the total and the invoice number in and upload it to Oracle. Again, when she's finished, she just clicks on Upload as she did before. Now, she could load them up from the interface table using the import process again, but what if she realized she'd made a mistake? No problem. She can delete the pending invoice information by pressing the delete button. There's a host of extra functionality available in the wizard. As well as matching invoices to POs and receipts, you can apply and release holds, cancel invoices, and so much more. The MorpherApp's AP Invoice Wizard is the perfect tool to speed up your payables invoice processing and release your workforce from the laborious task of data entry so they can get on with more productive work. As with all MorpherApp's wizards, it is completely configurable. It supports descriptive and key flex fields and uses Oracle's fully supported batch interface gateway. You can pre-validate with edit forms and take advantage of cut and paste and all the feature-rich functionality of Excel. Why not reach out to one of our sales team or take a look at it yourself by using the URL above.